Bisaya sa isa na namang lesson sa grade 9 math. And ito na ang ika-fourth method in solving quadratic equation. And this is by using the quadratic formula. So we have here the quadratic formula. We have x is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so first example is x squared plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So bago natin ito isolve, let us identify first the value of a, b, and c. So ang a is the coefficient of the quadratic term. So dito, the quadratic term is x squared. And ang coefficient niya, since walang nakasulat, so ibig sabihin, it is 1. And then b is the coefficient of the linear term. So in this equation, the linear term is 5x. So ibig sabihin, b is 5. And then, c naman is the constant term. So, sa equation na to, the constant term is 6. Okay. So, after nating ma-identify ang value ng a, b, and c, pwede na tayo ngayon mag-solve using the quadratic formula. So, susundan lang natin ito. Papalitan lang natin ang mga letters na yan ng mga numbers na ito. Okay? So, number 1, we have x is equal to, ang negative b is negative 5 plus or minus square root of b squared is 5 squared minus 4 multiplied by a is 1, then multiply by 6 all over 2a. So a is 1. Then we have negative 5 plus or minus the square of 5 is 25. Then negative 4 times 1 times 6 is equal to 24 negative. All over 2 times 1 is 2. Then after that, we have negative 5 plus or minus square root of 25 minus 24 is 1 all over 2. Then we have x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 1 is 1 all over 2. Okay, so now let's solve for x positive. Ibig sabihin, we will use the positive square root of 1. So, equal to negative 5 plus 1 over 2. So, this is negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4 over 2. Negative 4 over 2 or what? It is negative 2. Okay. Second, x negative. Negative square root of 1. Okay. So, negative 5 minus 1 over 2. So, negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6 over 2. Or, this is now equal to negative 3. So, now, the solution set of the equation x squared plus 5x plus 6 are negative 2 and negative 3. Okay, so this is now the solution set. Okay, for our second example, we have the equation 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. So, Identify first the value of a, b, and c. So in this equation, a is 4, b is -4, and then c is 1. Okay, so use these values in solving the equation using the formula. So x is equal to negative, b is -4, then plus or minus square root of b squared. So -4 squared minus 4 multiplied by a, which is 4, and then we have 1 all over 2 multiplied by the value of a, which is 4. So we have here positive 4 plus or minus. This is now 16 minus 16 all over 8. So we have now 4 plus or minus square root of 0 over 8. Syempre, this is now 0. So x is equal to 4 over 8. Or we have 1/2. So x now is equal to 1/2. So pag ganito ang answer natin, ibig sabihin lang yan na the given quadratic formula or quadratic equation is a perfect square trinomial. Ibig sabihin, pareho lang yung makukuha ninyong value ng x. Okay ba yon? Okay. So now let us have example number 3, and the equation is x squared minus 4x equal to 7. So as you can see, yung constant term natin ay nasa right side of the equation. So before we solve this, sulat muna natin to sa standard form ng quadratic equation. So ililipat lang natin si constant term sa left side of the equation. So magiging x squared minus 4x, then -7 equal to 0. Ayan, so nasa standard form na siya. So after nyan is identify a, b, and c. So in this equation, a is 1, b is -4, and then c is -7. Okay, so let's use these values in solving this equation using the formula. So x is equal to -b. So again, yung b natin is negative. So ayan. Then plus or minus square root of b squared. So square of -4 minus 4 times a, which is 1, and then c, which is -7 all over 2 multiplied by 1. Okay, so x is equal to negative is positive, so we have positive 4 plus minus square of -4 is positive 16, negative is positive, 4 times 7 is 28 over 2 times 1 is 2. Then simplify the expression under the radical sign. So we have now x is equal to 4 plus or minus square root of 16 plus 28 is equal to 44 over 2. And then, ang tanong, ang 44 ba ay perfect square? So, kapag hindi yan perfect square, try to find factors of 44 na yung isa dapat ay perfect square. Okay, so we have here 4, or we have x is equal to 4 plus or minus square root of, ang 44 is 4 multiplied by 11, okay, all over 2. Then we have x is equal to 4 plus minus square root of 4 is 2, then square root of 11 all over 2. And then we have, look at these numbers, we have 4, 2, and 2. So all of these numbers are multiples, or they are all divisible by 2. So x is equal to, pag dinivide natin ang 4 by 2, magiging 2. Plus or minus, pag dinivide ang 2 by 2, the answer is 1. So we have square root of 11 na lang over 1, or kahit wala na. So ang x ngayon, syempre is 2 plus square root of 11, and then the second one is x negative is 2 minus square root of 11. So these two are now the values of x, or the solution or solutions of this equation. Okay. And for our last example for today's topic, solving quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula, we have x squared minus 25 equal to 0. So let us now identify a, b, and c. So in this equation, the value of a is what? It is 1. B is 0, but 0 kasi wala tayong linear term dito. And then c is negative 25. Okay, so gamitin na natin to in solving this equation using the formula. So x is equal to negative b. b is 0, so let us write 0 plus or minus b squared. So 0 ulit. Squared is 0 pa rin. So minus 4 multiplied by 1 times c is 25 all over 2 multiplied by a, which is 1. Okay, so we have now x is equal to 0 plus or minus, then we have negative is positive, 4 times 1 times 25 is 100 over 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so x is equal to positive, negative, square root of 100 is 10 over 2. And for the values of x, we have positive, negative what? 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, x is pwedeng maging positive 5, pwede rin naman siyang negative 5. Okay, so these two are now the solutions of this equation. Okay, naintindihan ba? So, kung napansin nyo yung mga examples natin ay magkakaiba. No? May mga magkakaibang forms. Meron tayong perfect square trinomial, meron tayong difference of two squares, then meron tayong hindi pwedeng isolve using factoring. Pwede lang siya completing pero nagamit natin siya using quadratic formula. Meron din naman tayong pwede by factoring. Okay? So, tapos na natin ang 4 na methods in solving quadratic equation. Okay, so that's all for today.